about to meet me, Sergeant Dave, host of the Remember the Fallen show. After having survived a rollover accident avoiding a landmine in a troop transport vehicle, military acronym LMTV, in the Parwan province in Afghanistan in 2004, I emerged and returned to the United States with an even more compelling tale of perseverance as I navigate the rapids of the VA troubled system. I gain new perspective with the fever of enthusiasm to all patriots across the wind-swept fields of America.
This is Sergeant Dave, host of the Remember the Fallen show. I'm podcasting somewhere a little different. I'm not in at the studios. I'm out. I am a roving reporter. I'm actually at Wekiva Springs State Park with my pop-up camper, and I am at Man Camp. And you say, what is Man Camp? Well, Man Camp is a time when you reflect and you go out with a buddy of yours, which I did last night, and we biked around and we went swimming in the springs. The water's about 60 degrees, crystal clear, no gators. It's kind of cold for the gators, and we came back and just lit a fire all night long. And yeah, we tore into an 18-pack. You can imagine, right? We stayed up to about 2:30, just bonding, the old male bonding thing, So yeah, I left the women at home, and you can imagine inside the camper is pretty messy right now, right? So this is Man Camp 2018. I recommend, try to get with a bunch of your buddies and go to a primitive site, tent site, whatever. Just get out there and just bond with your male friends, So I just had a great time doing that. So I'm also reflecting. So today's day was reflecting. I'm reading a book, going over some articles of the next show, and so it just kind of gives me a time to be alone, some kind of like self-therapy that you use, being out in the woods, and I just came back from the springs again. Oh, just a great feeling, jumping in that cold water at sunset. So what we're going to do is talk about something different than we're going to do this year. We're going to break up the show a little bit, and I'm pretty excited. We're adding more personality to the Remember the Fallen show. So we're going to have Lauren Price. She's going to do the third Thursday of every month. And I got DJ Woody. He's going to do the even months. And I'm going to start off with the first of every month doing my Remember the Fallen show. So just going to bring some more flavor, That's spelled F-L-A-V-A-H, That's how it's spelled in Boston. We'll just bring some more flavor to the show, and hopefully bring more audience. Each person can bring, 250 followers. So we're hoping in 90 days we'll have 750 followers. That's our goal, is to keep expanding the show and try to engage more with different content. So DJ Woody, he's got a master's in social work, and he graduated UCF. He's another alumni with me. So been friends with him for about 4 years now. I just watched him in the community, what he does, some great stuff. I met him through when he was helping the homeless veterans down Orange County. Must have been a tough job. There's a lot of them down there. And now he's assisting with Veterans Court, which is a very noble thing. It's a diversionary court. So he's a mentor down there. So they get word of a veteran that gets arrested for, something minor, nothing major, even just a DUI or something, and then they go to a 4-level degree. And I'll let DJ Woody go all into that with you. But what an asset for the show, DJ Woody. He'll be on the 2nd and the 4th of every Thursday, all right? So, and then we have Lauren Price. Wow. She is a warrior, man. This is one of those warriors that just is amazing what she's been through. And she's a burn pit victim. So she'll be explaining of what she does, and she mainly focuses on the troubled VA system. She has a lot of contacts. Just really, what an asset to have her on the show as well. Lauren Price will be on the third Thursday of every month. So I want to tackle something a little different. And it's been on the mind of a lot of veterans, I think, right now, especially the younger ones, right? Yeah, and so right now, what do you think is the fastest growing industry in the United States right now? Okay? Well, I guess what? It's the cannabis industry. It is the fastest growing industry in the United States, with the recreational market growing 74% in 2014. Now, that's old stats. I know it's even climbed higher than that. It is a popular topic right now. You know what I'm talking about? Weed, pot, grass, dope, reefer, ganja, hash, herb, Mary Jane, they call it too, and there's all kinds of names for this medical wonder. Really, it sounds like it's a medical wonder. And I got this article here from the DAV, and it's pretty intense. It's one of the nicest articles I've seen in a while. But it's all going to be talk for a while until the Food and Drug Administration still classifies it as a Schedule I drug. Guess what? We're not going anywhere with it. So you veterans out there, you're going to get knowledge on it. You're going to get the research for you. But mainly, you're probably going to be going out of pocket and going to the proper way to do it, not on the street corner. You know what I mean? Go to these states if you have to cross the lines and go to a certain state. But it'll be coming to a state near you real soon. It's going to be a big year, 2019, on medical advantages that they have. They researched it pretty hard, and I'm just going to go over some of the things that the DAV is talking about. So a lot of veterans, they wait till they get out of the military before they even go near this, because if it's even talked about, all right, in your unit, word's going to get out, and you could get court-martialed. Yeah, they'll be drug testing you. You'll be lining up for that old proverbial pee test. You have a meat gazer checking you out while you're urinating into a little cup. So yeah, be careful. Wait till you get out of the military. So here's a guy who was an Air Force veteran. All right, and like many veterans, right, we work hard. It takes its toll. This Air Force veteran was named Jared Watson, and he loaded our cargo planes for a long time. I mean, good 12 years. At some point, his 12 years, that kind of just aggressive bending over and the joints, the hips, and lifting all that weight. Bone growth in one of his ball joints, his hip tore, and his labrum, and damaged much of the surrounding cartilage. So the injury brought on chronic pain for Watson, and eventually led to his medical retirement from the military in 2016. So it also severely affected his sleep, which does with myself. I'm taking a methylcobamol, and that's just a muscle relaxer, and it relieves the pain, but it's not an opioid, so it's not addictive. But it has a kind of a drug tendency. It does get you sleeping. That's what I want to do. I want to have a good night's sleep, because it does affect your everyday life. I still have a tough time getting a good solid 6 hours sleep. So yeah, I'm taking those naps. Man, I love those 45-minute naps. So I wish maybe I'll look into this someday, huh? So he was a father, a husband, entrepreneur, and student. He knew something had to be done to combat this pain and restore his ability to get a good night's sleep, a rest, right, for the benefit of himself, his family, his career, and his studies. So he couldn't just wait he's like, I can't wait to get out of the military, and because he can't wait to try medical cannabis, and that's exactly what he did. He's not going to take those opioid pain pills, and I wonder what my liver does right now. I've been taking it since 2000, I want to say since 2010, aggressively taking methylcobamol. All right, what I mean by aggressively, one a night. And I wonder what it does to my liver. You kind of wonder what it does there. So Watson was reluctant, like a lot of us out there, toward painkillers. It stems from a personal experience, and I know some personal experience of just living in Orange County, the opioid epidemic. How many people are dying right now? Right now, they're saying 42,000 died from opioid use in 2016. 42,000. Woof! That's a big number. Okay, so I can understand why Jared, who's reluctant toward painkillers, right? Because what it's done in his experience, he's a native of Northeast Ohio. It seems like these cold states have a really big problem with opioid. I know Vermont, I know Ohio, Michigan, all these cold states, New Hampshire. I guess I don't know what else to do when it's cold, I guess, huh? There's only so much TV you can watch. But anyways, this back to Jared, a native in Northeast Ohio. The Afghanistan war veteran lost 2 high school friends to opioid overdoses and has witnessed firsthand how addiction can destroy individuals and their families. So he's been part of the devastation. That area's been devastated with that opiate, and heroin use. That's what's tearing families apart in that part of the country. It's killing people. And he's, like I said, he's seen it. And then according to a 2017 report from the National Center for Health Statistics, the national opioid crisis killed more than, once again, 42,000 Americans in 2016. Alarmingly, at 2013 analysis by the Center for Investigative Reporting found that opioid prescriptions for veterans spiked 270% over a 12-year period. So they are getting our battle buddies, our veterans, addicted to opioids, okay? And these pills that they read, and they say that suicidal tendencies on the actual label. So we're giving painkillers that have suicidal tendencies. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why you see in 22 kill, 22 a day, maybe we should really take a good look at cannabis, right? So the VA also estimates that 68,000 veterans, about 13% of the total population of veterans currently taking opioids, have an opioid use disorder. Oh boy, 13%. Yet doctors continue to prescribe them for chronic pain, a condition which affects 60% of veterans from deployments to the Middle East and 50% of older veterans, according to VA officials, right? 60% of what the VA treats can fall into the category of chronic pain. I'm one of them. And the system was not designed to do much more than push pills, and those pills aren't working, said Nick Etten, founder and executive director of Veterans Cannabis Project, right? A nonprofit organization dedicated to helping military veterans improve their quality of life through access to cannabis for medical purposes. I got to get this guy on the show. And Etten, right, a former Navy SEAL, woo, and graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy, also know that medical cannabis is an effective treatment for the signature wounds of wars in the Middle East. Now, here's a Navy SEAL, he's got some pains, right? Just the rigorous training that they've been through. He's doing a little cannabis. I don't know how he's taking it in, right? He's probably doing an edible. He's doing a brownie here and there, right? So, post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury, one of the top ones for cannabis right now. I would think that anybody with PTSD should have access to this cannabis. But once again, it's still a Schedule I drug. Food and Drug Administration still classifies it, and until it does, the VA will never touch it. They cannot. And still, that has to be modified somehow if we're going to get VA's, the veteran system, off pushing these painkillers to precious veterans that are coming back, okay? So cannabis is showing itself to be safe and effective in treating those. This is what Etten says. That's where it's transformative and can be a game changer, right? Before Jared started using cannabis, he was constantly complaining about how tense and tight he was and how much his hip hurt. Said his wife, right, Priscilla, the pain would keep him up all night, so not only would he wake up in pain, but he'd wake up fatigued and tired and need naps throughout the day. That's me. I get a nap alert on my phone every day. But now he sleeps all night and isn't in pain anymore. Oh my God, I need that cannabis. I think I do. I gotta check that out. Edible. Okay, I'm gonna strictly do it legally. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything otherwise. Okay, nutritional therapist and Air Force veteran herself, Priscilla feels cannabis is a more natural and safer alternative to addressing pain than pharmaceuticals. Right, noting that disparity between what she calls the antiquated argument that marijuana is dangerous and the results she's been seen firsthand He's a happier guy, right? More productive, more motivated to things. She had, so it has really changed the quality of life big time, right, for this couple, right? So the couple points out that the benefits of medical cannabis correlate with its responsible use, which includes abstaining from driving while under the influence, right? Yep, and ensuring proper doses and administration. As someone with a nutritional background, so she's got experience too. So this is a good article because you have someone who lives with a edible cannabis user, military, sleeps right next to him, obviously knows everything about him, right? And she's a nutritionist background. So she doesn't let Jared smoke it because, the smoke in the lungs just won't leave. It's just bad. So she said he makes edibles with it, which I think is a lot safer. And I've been told you tend to get a little more positive effect. Positive effect, what does that mean? You get higher? Oh, okay. All right. While the VA cannot deny veterans benefits due to medical marijuana use, once again, VA providers cannot recommend or prescribe cannabis since the Food and Drug Administration still classifies it as a Schedule I drug. So instead, Watson has to pay out of pocket, for an annual physician's evaluation and a medical cannabis card in Maryland, one of the 30 states. So all you veterans in Maryland, this is one of those states, and as well as the District of Columbia, D.C., of all places, right? Which has legalized medical marijuana. Now, I know Florida's working on it. So we're going to do, we'll touch up on this again and tell you all the states out there so you get a good hands on. But I'm not pushing it, okay? I'm not going to be that advocate until I really get more information. This is going to be big this coming year, 2019. I really feel it is, okay? So participation in state marijuana program does not affect eligibility for VA care and services, and VA providers are able to discuss cannabis use with veteran patients and adjust care and treatment plans as needed. So you can discuss it with your VA physician. So I recommend going out there and just discussing it, all right? Don't tell them that you got plans on doing it. Just have a discussion, right? And but Etten notes that the federal classification of cannabis leaves many veterans in limbo, right? While some, like Watson, can afford to pay out-of-the-pocket costs, many others rely solely on the VA for health care, and that would be me. Oh, yeah. That's my only health care right now, so I got to be careful, too. Until cannabis is removed from Schedule I and elevated as a health policy issue where it can be treated as medicine, we're going to be stuck in this legal gray zone. Yep, I can see it for, I think, a few more years myself. Because the VA, they're stubborn. They got to research, right? Drag their feet. Okay. So the federal government, however, maintains that more research, there it is, into the efficacy of medical marijuana needs to be conducted before it's declassified and made available to service-connected disabled veterans through the VA. Okay, so, yeah, they're going to drag their feet with that one. You know that. All right. So another thing that Nick Etten, Veterans of Cannabis Project founder and executive director, okay? So you might want to Google that, Veterans Cannabis Project. 60% of what the VA treats can fall into the category of chronic pain, and the system was not designed to do much more than push pills, and those pills aren't working. Especially on the label, it says, you have suicide tendencies. Hello, wake up. All right. So the VA Medicinal Cannabis Research Act of 2018, okay? Call your congressman, all right? Email him, HR 5520. Remember that HR 5520 is the VA Medicinal Cannabis Research Act of 2018. It was a bipartisan bill introduced by House Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman Phil Rowe and Ranking Member Tim Waltz, and which has support in the Senate, would promote scientific and medical research into the safety and efficacy of medicinal cannabis usage on veterans diagnosed with PTSD, TBI, chronic pain, and other illnesses and injuries by clarifying that research into medicinal cannabis is well within the authority of the VA. Now, we have all heard the stories of veterans, right, who have used cannabis medicinally to cope with physical and psychological injuries sustained during their service to our country. In fact, right, this is what Walt says, 22% of veterans report using cannabis as a safer and more effective alternative to opioids and drug cocktails currently prescribed by VA for medical conditions such as PTSD or chronic pain, right? Like trazodone. Oh my God, they first gave me trazodone. Oh, what nightmares I had with trazodone, all right? So, you veterans out there, if you're taking trazodone, I need you to talk to your VA physician and just have that conversation about medicinal cannabis use if you're taking trazodone, all right? Of course, keep taking it, listen to your doctor and everything, but I just stopped taking it. I didn't tell him I'd stop taking it. Eventually, I just stopped taking it, man. And I found other ways. I got myself a kayak. I'm in nature like I am now at man camp, all right? So there's other ways, just finding the right partner like I have as well. I mean, that is 50% of the battle right there, finding the right partner and then just enjoying nature and getting healthy. Once in a while, throw down a few with your buddies like I did last night at man camp, right? Once in a while. But don't go out of hand with that, of course. We don't want that to happen to you. So back to the article. As a physician, I am keenly aware of this need to look for opioid alternatives to treat patients of chronic pain, said Rowe. Since serving as the chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, I've heard from many veterans, both with physical and visible wounds, who believe medicinal cannabis could benefit them, right? So additionally, the Veterans Medical Marijuana Safe Harbor Act, another one, is called S3409, would empower VA physicians to issue medical cannabis recommendations in accordance with the laws of states where it's legal. Wow, empower VA physicians. Whoa, that's a strong statement. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to find those states. I'll have a report on that. So this legislation would also require the VA to conduct studies on the effects of medical marijuana on veterans in pain and the relationship between treatment programs involving medical marijuana that are approved by states, the access of veterans to such programs, and the reduction in opioid abuse among veterans. So we need a reduction of opioid abuse, definitely, man. This Kill 22 is going on, and there's got to be a reason behind it. I think a lot of us know they're pushing the pills way too much, and it's not effective, especially if it gives you suicidal tendencies. Okay, so that makes no sense whatsoever. So yeah, we need a head check on you guys on that one. Okay, according to a 2014 study by the Journal of the American Medical Association, states with medical marijuana laws had a 25% lower average annual opioid overdose death rate compared to states without such laws. Wow. Okay. Whoa. 25% lower average. That is amazing stats right there. So if veterans can ease some of their chronic pain or symptoms of the injuries or illnesses they have received through service to our country without turning to opioids, the VA has a responsibility to research it. You do, but don't drag your feet, VA, like you have been with Agent Orange, with Burn Pits, with Blue Water Navy. Yeah, we got to research it. Yeah, come on, man. Despite the criticism of medical cannabis use, Watson believes that it becomes increasingly accepted. No other demographic stands to benefit as much from its use and legality as American veterans. Yes, why aren't we doing it now? Why are we going to wait for more lives to take their own lives? Tomorrow, 22 more tomorrow? This needs to be on the front burner in the VA this year, 2019. This year, okay? So keep in mind, here goes my cup. Yeah, camper's kind of wobbly, So I'm in the camper now. I'm doing the show live at Man Camp, Wekiva State Park in, I think we're in Longwood, Florida. Yes. So back to the article. Despite the criticism of medical cannabis use, Watson believes that as it becomes increasingly accepted, it's being increasingly accepted, sure is, we need to get these American veterans aboard on this. So he says, I wasn't hesitant at first to be open about it because of the stigmas that's still associated with it. Yeah, it's a big stigma, all right. That's why you veterans that are still serving, you probably can't even talk about this. You can't touch this. You'd have to be behind closed doors. You cannot bring this out in the open because of the stigma, right? But eventually you get to the point where you realize how much it helps, then you might put that stigma down, and you feel guilty for not sharing that information with others. You got to feel that, especially if you know someone that's doing extremely well, you experience it, and you probably want to share that with other battle buddies, you know. So veteran organizations like DAV are exactly what medical cannabis users like myself need to be the catalyst for making medical cannabis available for veterans everywhere. What a great article. That was December's issue, 2018. I want to thank you, DAV, for that article. I'm a life member to DAV, Chapter 30 in Sanford. So I'm really shocked at them that the DAV came out with this article, and the cover looks pretty awesome. It's got the DAV magazine. So get this, right? It's got a pill bottle with roots and soil, and then the famous cannabis leaf. You know the perfect leaf that stands out. You know it's weed by looking at it. And the article says the cannabis cure, making the case for more research into alternative pain relief for veterans. Yeah, that is like an holistic approach or what, right? Cannabis. Now, we are going to just do a little break, a little sponsorship break, and we'll be back here very shortly. So all you fit veterans in the audience, get down and give me 22 a day push-ups for our battle buddies that will take their lives tomorrow. Get down and give me 22 everyday push-ups for our battle buddies that will take their lives tomorrow. See you in about 5.
Listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details. If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com. Attention business owners and
message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's file for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
I would like to end the show with promoting another non-profit that's over in Tampa Bay. It's in the inlets of Tampa Bay in Ruskin, Florida. This is Kelly Caldwell. She's a Gold Star mother of Corey Caldwell, who was a specialist who also died, like my young private, Brendan A. Wadman, died in a rollover accident in Afghanistan in 2009 on September 20th. So I happened to go over to my Warriors place one time. I was over in Tampa by Apollo Beach, not too far from there, beautiful spot, and just happened to run into the place. I saw her at my Warriors place. Wow, what is this? Pulled in, and I was like, I met her, and I go, I'm going to come back. I'm going to build a never forgot memorial for your son. And so I came back about 3 weeks later. This is 2014. And now I see this article in the Army magazine, and there she is with her son after Corey receiving his infantry blue cord at an event. And she was going through some tough times, like every Gold Star mother does. But she realized that she was hurting, but she knows others were hurting even more. Even World War II veterans were carrying on this burden a lot longer than she was. So basically, Corey's death was the start of a journey that she never realized. That Kelly realized that. So she published a book, My Life After the Death of My Son, A Story of Miracles. Chronicles the miracles she attributes to his continued presence. So he's always a presence, and she's been seeing signs, and she thought she was going a little crazy there. And so she came up with this idea, and Corey always wanted her to get a boat, and he urged her to buy it. So Carl began taking veterans, service members, and their families on guided pleasure trips around the inlets of Tampa Bay, where she lives, right? So after a while, after she noticed that this is definitely a service that's needed out there, there was a call for action. So unable to find a suitable counseling program, she met up with someone who had experience with counseling and bereavement expertise to create a program. And now that dream is called My Warrior's Place. Please Google that, My Warrior's Place. Any veteran out there right now just needs a break from it all. Kelly will set you up, okay? I've been there. She set me up on a weekend, and it's just a weekend of just lodging, recreational vehicle pads, recreational activities on land and on the river, yoga, fitness classes, and lots of places for relaxation and contemplation, including hammocks, a memorial garden, a dock deck, and a fire pit. Now, Memorial Garden, also there's Never Forgotten Memorials, is to the left of the flag poles you'll see out there. So make sure you go by there and say your respects to Corey. So My Warrior's Place is just a nice, Corey, she believes, has guided her hand all the way through this miracle after miracle after miracle by putting the right people and the right resources in front of her at the right time. So she feels like her son has just been there. I feel like my son voluntold me to do this. I can't imagine my life any other way now. Caldwell said, I'm still just as proud of him as I ever was, and I mean, soldiering was his calling. He's still my son. He's just not here on earth anymore. I'm just so grateful that I got to watch him live his dream. So Kelly Caldwell, please, when you get a chance over in Tampa, look up My Warrior's Place. Give her a donation. She's doing amazing things over there, and I'd love to see you stop by. Any veteran going through some tough time, especially up north, and it's freezing up there, cold. Give Kelly Caldwell My Warrior's Place. Tell him Dave Matthews, Sergeant Dave from the Remember the Fallen show from NeverForgottenMemorials.org. So go to my website. You'll see what I do. I build fallen soldier memorials. And Corey Caldwell was, I think, basically like my 6th memorial that I did. I'm on really 11 right now. So it's just a great honor just to do that for Kelly, and I love that it snowballed into something beautiful that she loves doing now, and it relieves her pain, and she believes that Corey's just in her presence at every day when she's at My Warrior's Place. Please Google that.
Dock 30